Kill or be killed. That's the brutal choice Gi-hun now faces. Welcome back to Sandy's Timeline. Today, we're diving into Squid Game Season 3, Episode 5. With a baby's life on the line and enemies closing in, will Gi-hun choose logic or morality to survive? Gi-hun quietly returns to the dorm where everyone else is fast asleep. He knows that if the roles were reversed, the others wouldn't hesitate to kill him. As he steels himself to stab the businessman, a haunting hallucination of Se-bayok stops him, reminding him of his own humanity and guiding him to stay true to his decency. Meanwhile, a flashback reveals that In-ho himself was once given the same choice back in 2015. Unlike Gi-hun, he took the offer, slaughtering the sleeping contestants and claiming victory. On the other side, No-yul scales the mountain and slips inside through an industrial fan. She finally bursts into the Blackguard's office. At gunpoint, she demands that he erase all records of Gyeongsuk. As she prepares to pull the trigger, the guard calmly informs her that hard copies of every contestant are kept in the front's man office, and only authorized personnel like himself can access them. Realizing she can't retrieve the files without him, she's forced to bring him along. Inside the elevator, tension explodes. The black-masked officer seizes the opportunity to turn on her, and they wrestle violently the gun. The fight is brutal, with the weapon changing hands repeatedly. In the struggle, No-yul is badly injured, but manages to shoot and kill the officer determined to finish her mission. She then heads to the room with all the hard copies and sets it ablaze. On the other side, Gyeongsuk speeds away in a boat, cutting through the fog. At the same time, the detective and his partner, still combing the area for the island, notice something unusual in the mist. Moments later, the detective's radio crackles to life. It's the frontman, his estranged brother, warning him that if he doesn't abandon the investigation, it will cost him his life. Since the black-masked man had already given orders out to assassinate Gyeongsuk, his boat is gunned down by the men, but is later on rescued by the detective, confirming his proximity to the island. The lights turn on and the players are informed about the final game and instructed to head towards the game hall. The final game is called Squid Game. It requires players to push at least 3 opponents off of 3 elevated platforms through 3 rounds. In the first round, the businessman rallies the remaining players, proposing a ruthless plan. They will eliminate Gi-hun, the baby, and Min-soo, who is weakened and suffering from withdrawal, one by one in each round, then divide the prize money among themselves. To gain their trust and protect his own position, Myung-gi pretends to side with them, convincing the group that he's fully on board with the conspiracy. Gi-hun, fully aware that both him and the baby's lives are on the line, braces himself in a defensive corner, clutching the infant tightly as the alliance closes in. Thinking quickly, Myung-gi diverts the group's attention away from the baby, convincing them that Min-soo, now deep in the grip of hallucinations, poses a greater immediate threat. However, no one dares approach Min-soo, fearful that his unpredictable flailing might drag them over the edge with him. Seizing the moment, Myung-gi suddenly shoves Min-soo off the platform, sending him plummeting to his death. With one player down, they move to the next round. In the second round, a tense democratic standoff breaks out. The remaining players argue bitterly over whether to sacrifice Gi-hun or the baby. Gi-hun, clutching the infant protectively, refuses to hand the child over despite their attempts to reason with him. Frustrated, the businessman orders one of the players to push both Gi-hun and the baby off the platform. But Gi-hun warns him that if they both die, the alliance will inevitably turn on him next. Knowing all too well how cunning and treacherous his allies are, the player hesitates and backs down. As tension mounts, Myung-gi seizes the moment, lunging at one of the players and hurling him off the platform. In the chaos, Myung-gi reveals that he is the baby's father, a shocking twist that instantly shifts loyalties and fractures the alliance. Violence erupts, and together, Gi-hun and Myung-gi overpower the remaining conspirators, leaving only one player, the baby, and themselves on the final tower. Overcome with despair and unwilling to face them, the last surviving player hurls himself off the edge, leaving Gi-hun, Myung-gi, and the baby as the sole survivors moving into the last stage. Who will be the next to fall? Myung-gi, Gi-hun, or the baby? And who will take the final crown of the games? Don't forget to like, subscribe to Sandy's Timeline, and turn on notifications to catch the thrilling finale.